Welcome to the Week 8 recap of our NBA Fantasy Basketball League. We are going to be talking about. Oh, wait. No. This is our shitty fantasy football league where I keep getting my ass kicked every single week since I talked so much shit. And Phil put me in my place
Thought
this
you
week.
were the thought you were the giant killer.
I thought I was, but I've definitely been knocked back down into 10th place. So I am
Yeah.
not a giant killer of any kind. Fucking Phil. Fucking Phil. 215 points, man. What happened to Phil, who was at the bottom of the table? Like, Phil had a terrible team. He talked shit about himself. And all of a sudden, Phil, with his A plus, is getting A plus results from his team.
You know who never had any doubts?
Who?
This
That
guy.
guy? That guy? All right.
This guy.
Understandable.
Been riding
Phil
Phil's
is
team hard all season. Yeah, they're good.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
they're
They
good.
are good. You and I are both sitting at 3-5, man. How do you feel about that? Because I don't think we should be hosting a podcast about our shitty ass teams.
I don't really mind, man. Like I live in the fantasy world of like if Nick Chubb was here, and if
If
Nick Chubb
Anthony
was still
Richardson
here,
was
I
here.
would be yeah, sure. Live in that
Yeah.
world like I do.
Okay. All right.
If Nick Chubb was here, I think I'd be like 6-2, honestly.
Okay.
Uh Also, I don't know, man. I got a ring. I got a
Yeah.
couple of them.
You got a couple of them.
I
I
don't really
got you.
give it. I really don't. Like it ebbs and flows, bro.
Um,
Plus, you know what? I think I'm gonna make a run. I still think I'm gonna make the playoffs.
what about old Zachy boy, man? Zachy boy put a 73-point beat down this week. I think we had like an 80-point one not too long ago, but like 73 points is a pretty big beat down on somebody like Eddie. And you've been high on Eddie's team most of this year. What do you think happened there?
Nah, I think Eddie's team sucks, man.
Oh, my bad.
Eddie. Eddie's just like in the rings club, so he's good at this. Like he's
Uh,
certified West Side.
okay.
Like that's what I believe in.
That's what you
I don't
believe
even know
in?
who plays for half these teams.
Understandable. Well, let's address the fact that you had one hell of a week in your prediction last week. Almost a clean sweep. You went 5-1 last week, bro. Congratulations on. I mean, that's making money there if you go 5-1. So your overall record now is 23-19. So congratulations for that winning record you got going on there. That's dope.
You know
Let's
how
get
it is. It's like the real NFL season, man. Like, the first 4 weeks don't really mean nothing. Like, you got to get into the meat of the schedule before you find out who these guys are.
okay. Okay. Let's
And it
start
just
looking
see
at.
it so happens that like the good people always are good.
Yeah, I wish
So
my
week
good
8 rolls
players didn't
around,
get
like
hurt.
I can just be like, oh no, I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about like fantasy owners.
Oh, no. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. I'm not
Like,
good at
how'd I
that.
go 5-1? How'd I go 5-1? Like I don't know who plays for anybody's team. I
I'm
barely know
starting
who
to
my running backs are half the time.
I'm starting to realize that I'm kind of like the Chris Ballard of our league. Like I like my draft picks too much. I won't trade for shit. Like, nothing happened yesterday for the Colts at the trade deadline. Like he just puts it all in on all of his draft picks and like I kind of
Man.
I kind of feel like I'm the Chris Ballard of our league. Like I just kind of have that same mentality of like I drafted these guys, they're gonna play good for me, and then they don't.
Can, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you watch your guys?
I try to. I watch like I'll usually watch the Chiefs game because I do like care what Travis Kelsey does because like he was my number one pick. So I feel like Travis Kelsey should be putting up good points for me. Um, so two of my three wide receivers are from divisional opponents, and I kind of try to when I can watch divisional opponents when they're not at the same time as the Colts. I try to watch them just because I kind of care about divisional opponents, even though they're all looking way better than the Colts right now. But so two of my wide receivers I kind of pay attention to there. Josh Jacobs, I watch the Raiders when I can, and then here's my other running back. Well, I mean Zach Moss was, so obviously I was watching him with the Colts, but like my kicker and my defense, I don't really pay attention to. I kind of just look for the defense that's playing the shittiest team that week. And like I'm on a defense carousel right now. I kind of have a different defense every week. But most of my star players I try to care about and watch. I don't watch my quarterback. I don't watch Atlanta at all, so I don't pay attention to him.
Hmm,
But yeah.
crazy.
Well, what about you?
Yeah.
Let me ask you the same question then.
No,
No? Okay.
nope. I basically just watch the Colts. I don't even watch football.
Okay. All
Like
right, cool.
sometimes I will watch. Sometimes I'll watch like a little bit of the Sunday night game if I'm
Okay.
bored.
Sure.
Um,
Well,
but
and like
no,
this
like
week's Monday night game, like I had a small chance if Jacobs would have gone batshit crazy and put up a bunch of points against Pete's defense, like I would have had a chance. But Pete's defense just banked up a whole bunch of points with sacks and shit like that. And Jacobs put up a decent number of points for me, just not enough to actually score points against whoever's defense he had.
so.
So
So do you like? How do you feel about like the guys on your team?
I mean, overall, I like most of them. I wish I had better wide receivers. I can't lie about that. I thought the fact that the wide receivers would play the Colts, 2 times a year, like might put up some good points for me those weeks. So that's kind of why I
Man,
went with divisional guys, like for my wide receivers, because I was like, I don't really have a whole lot of faith in the Colts defense. I mean, we allow like fucking 43 points a game or some shit like that. So
no,
I
I'm
don't
just like
know.
I feel like I used to get caught up in like watching my guys, and then I would
Sure.
just be like, "Oh, I love this guy."
Uh huh.
Blah blah blah, and like I almost feel like the worst thing you can do in fantasy football is like love a player.
Okay.
I
Okay.
feel like it blinds you to like these realities, that like these are nothing but commodities. They should be like traded and like moved around at will. Like I find it like a badge of dishonor if you basically finish this season with your same team that you started the
Ooh.
season with. I'm like, what are you even doing? Are you even playing a game? Like, and so it's just like, yeah, like, but I think a lot of that stems from like being like, oh, I like this guy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
I can buy that.
it's
I can
like
see that.
dog. I drafted Odell Beckham for like 3 of the last 4 years because he used to be my favorite player to watch.
Sure.
That was a mistake.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay. That's some good advice there. Let's look at this upcoming week.
All
I'm
right.
playing against big ol' Zach.
I'm gonna go with Zach on this one.
Not surprised at all. And he probably will beat my ass. You're going up against our commish, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Jason Mayer has Tyreek Hill. I do know that. I'll go with Mayer.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's a lot to
Uh
beat.
Dave and Phil are going at each other. Who you got there?
Oh man. I am gonna go with history, and I'm gonna say Dave Mayer.
Okay, I like it. I like it. And then we got Snow going up against Big Old Pete.
I'll take Pete.
I will too. Eddie and Justin going at each other.
I'll take Justin.
Okay. And rounding out our matchup, we got Jeff going up against Joel.
Jeff.
Yeah, all right. So Joel's all right. You kind of you're off that train now. That train has left.
Man,
Joel's all right.
Jeff just put a beat down on my fucking ass. Like, I'm sorry that like Joel's schedule sucks, but like
A beatdown, bro. He beat you by 21 points. That wasn't really a beatdown. At least it wasn't 73.
it
Like that
never
wasn't a
felt close.
beatdown. Really?
It never felt close. I never thought I was gonna win. Like the score was like, it's like we put up a couple touchdowns late. Like, don't let Amon-Ra St. Brown's normal 21 points on Monday night like surprise you.
Got you. Makes sense. All
Yeah,
right.
nah, man. Like,
Anything else to round out this week's recap? You got anything else going on? Anything
fucking
else you
man, just
noticed?
riding the
No?
wave, baby.
Riding the wave?
Riding the
Word.
wave. Fucking
Word.
fantasy football. There's nothing else you can do. It's not like you can go out there and play the damn games.
Yep, understandable. Well, as always, I appreciate your time this week, brother, and I will see you next week, and we'll see what happens.
If anybody out there listening hates their team, hit me up, man. We all got players we hate. Let's
Yeah.
go.
All right.
Let's move them
Now,
around.
I like it.
Let's find something. Let's figure something out. I'm bored. I'm
Oh, I
bored of
like
looking at
this.
these
Yeah.
guys.
All of a sudden, Troy's gonna bank up some draft picks, is what I hear.
Or fucking find somebody like, like shit. Come holler at me. Somebody. Like, come holler at me, AJ Brown owner. We'll do some
Word.
shit.
All
All
right.
right,
Anybody
man.
listening, hit up
That's
Troy,
it.
make some trades happen. All right. Talk to you next week, brother.